So good morning, everybody. How are you? Thanks for your patience. I'm in Montego Bay, Jamaica, and the internet service can come and go here. So of course, when you're just about to start a live webinar with 108 people signed up and then your internet's not working, what do? You meditate. Yes. So welcome, everybody. If you're watching the replay, it's so lovely to have you. Even if you are late, you're going to get all the juicy benefits of this meditation webinar. And let me start by introducing myself. So some of you have encountered me before along the journey of life, whether it's through Shakti, my long-time yoga and fitness studio that I own in in Kingston, Jamaica, or you have done one of my live detox programs in Montego Bay, or you've joined me for Shakti activation, or you don't know me at all, and you just saw the ad on Facebook and clicked in as this was something that you needed. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, welcome. I am so honored to present this webinar to you today, The Busy Woman's Guide to Meditation. And I think it's so funny. My husband gets my emails and he said, how come you write the email, Dear Nikki, and then it's an invitation only for women? So it's really not a webinar just for women. This is for everybody. But the reason that I wanted it to be mainly for women is that no matter what you want to say, women have so much more on their plates, I believe, especially if you have children and you're running a business, than men do. It's just a fact of life, whether you like it or not. And we're juggling so many balls in the air all at the same time. Many of us are overwhelmed. We need help. We need a tool. And I have to tell you that this late discovery in life of this incredible gift of meditation is something that I want to share with each and every person that I encounter. The same way I wanted to share yoga when I first learned and became a yoga teacher. Same way when I first experienced detox programs and how eating high vitality food and eliminating the bad boys for a week or so could actually change the physiology of your body. Now that I can truly say I'm a dedicated meditator, the benefits that I've received over the last 3 years, 2 years really, that I can honestly say I've been meditating every single day, give or take a few. But I'm a dedicated meditator now. And that's what I want to share with you today. So let me just put my glasses on. Okay. Hello, everybody. Nancy, let me just start. Bernice, coming from Tahiti. Hello, my darling, one island girl to another. Melvin, good morning from Vancouver. Oh my God, I love Vancouver Island. That's where this whole journey kind of started with me and Kundalini yoga and meditation. Portugal, oh my gosh, Caroline in California. Nancy Burke, one of the first people to ever do my yoga classes in Kingston. Lisa from Coconut Grove. Hello, my darling. Johnny Lindo, hi. Christine from Texas. Donna Park from Florida. Oh my gosh, Namas, who is this one? I'm not saying. Christine Klein. Wow, hi Christine and Thalia from London. Oh my gosh, we are a international crew here. I love this. Somebody has a question, so let me attend to this first. Find myself on a plane right now. Please send me the link after the webinar so I can watch tonight. Jane Crichton. Perfect. You will absolutely get that link. Okay. So there may be some of you that don't know me. My name is Sharon Fiani. I'm talking to you from Montego Bay, Jamaica. I am a wife. I'm a mother of 3 kids. One is almost going to be 20, one's almost going to be 14, and one is 11. I am what you would call a multi-passionate entrepreneur, spiritualpreneur, busy woman who has been credited with bringing yoga to Jamaica. I became a yoga teacher 23 years ago, certified, but I've been teaching for over a decade before I actually became certified. So I've probably been teaching yoga for over 33 years. I owned a first aromatherapy company in Jamaica. So I fell in love with aromatherapy oils. The same year I became a yoga teacher, and I moved back to Jamaica and created the Caribbean's first ever aromatherapy company. And then I moved from that and opened my yoga studio, Shakti Mind Body Fitness. Many people know me from there. It was a spiritual vortex in Kingston, Jamaica, a very special place that touched many, many lives. And then most recently, in the last 8 years, I moved to Montego Bay, Jamaica, because my husband took a job on this side of the island. And my life kind of took a whole new incarnation. I eventually had to close my yoga studio, found myself in a state of absolute loss and depression and not knowing what to do with my life, and suffering from a terrible indigestion problem. Put myself on a detox program, learned how to cook high vitality foods, learned how to prepare gluten-free foods when I found out I had a gluten allergy, went on to share my incredible knowledge from doing this program and healing myself from depression, from a stomach disorder, from all kinds of things, to leading hundreds of people through what became my Live Fit Detox programs. And then most recently, putting all of the recipes, all of the recipes that I developed over the years of leading people on detox programs and cooking all their meals into this beautiful Live Fit Kitchen cookbook that I'm super, super proud of, which was launched on Amazon in December of last year, 2018. And also the creator of something I am absolutely loving every minute of, which is my first ever online program. The name of it is Shakti Activation. It is an online yoga, detox, and self-care program that you do from the privacy of home without ever having to leave work or take time off work to do it. You do it in your life so that you learn the timeless tools of yoga and meditation. Detox in your body with a group, but also learning how to incorporate healthy, high vitality food into your life, all the recipes coming from the cookbook. And also learning, and not just learning, but relearning and remembering the art of radical self-care. And that's kind of where my focus is right now. And it was because of the feedback that I have been getting from the people that have taken my Shakti Activation program, the feedback about how the meditation was such a key component in their overall transformation, that I decided that there's something here I really need to share. So on my online program, it's 7 days where you get 7 days of yoga practices. We work with one chakra at a time. We clear the chakra out of any blocks. We strengthen it, and then we move every day to a different chakra or energy center in the body. And then every evening we have between a 10 to 20 minute meditation practice. Each 7 of these meditation practices are different. So people who have struggled with meditation before got to experience a different type of meditation every day to see which one works for them. And then, of course, it's 7 days of eliminating what I call the bad boys: no sugar, no alcohol, no wheat, no dairy, no processed foods, no acidic producing foods. 1 cup of coffee a day if coffee is your vice, but incorporating what I call high vitality, organic as possible food from the source into your body. So there's no starvation in the program. You're doing it with a group. We support each other. And so that's what that program is about. But the feedback, I made the meditation a small piece of that program because a lot of people are scared to meditate, or they don't think they can meditate. But when people committed to just doing these short practices for 10 to 20 minutes during those 7 days, the profound experiences that they had, the radical transformation, it's like the thing that they continued on mostly. And I said, wow, there is something here, because I do believe that meditation is a tool that every single person living in the 21st century needs. We need this world of instant imaging, gratification, answering back, information coming from all different levels. Our brains are getting, for lack of a better word, screwed up, right? So these 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes that we can give our brains a chance to just relax are an incredible gift and a tool. And I want to help you get there by sharing my story and then debunking some of the myths about meditation, and also giving you some of the benefits. I just sharing from you, from my heart, not from anybody else's story, okay? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to close our eyes and just take 10 deep breaths. Then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my personal meditation story and how I got there and the benefits that I've personally received. And then I'm going to debunk some of the myths about meditation, like you don't have to be a yogi to do it, or you don't have to be able to cross your legs in a lotus position for 20 minutes, and you don't have to chant Om to do it. And then we're going to meditate. How about that? We're going to just do a brief meditation. I'll take you on one of my favorite 3-step meditations that you can do anywhere from home. And everybody on this program, on this webinar, will receive that bonus meditation. So you're going to actually get this same meditation in a video. That's the same video that you get in Shakti Activation, so that you can practice. Maybe we can all commit to practicing that meditation for 7 days and see what happens. All right, so are you ready? All right, so everybody that knows me or ever done one of my programs before knows that there's always a bottle of essential oils handy nearby. I became an aromatherapist the same year as a yoga teacher, so I always use my meditation or aromatherapy with my meditation. So chances are you don't have some aromatherapy oils close by. Let me see, somebody's making a comment. Yes, Kingston calling. Hi, Michelle. So we're going to use some oils if we have them. If we don't worry about them, right? What I want you to do is to sit up tall wherever you are. So if you're in bed watching this, lucky you. Well, some of you are way ahead of us in time zones. I just want you to sit up straight. If you're at your desk and sneaking off at work, right? Don't tell anybody. I just want you to put your feet on the floor. So really sit up straight. It doesn't matter what your legs look like, but what is important for meditation is that your spine is straight. All right, if you have some oils, you can put some in your palms. If you don't worry about it. But I'd like you to rub your hands together, whether you have oils or not. Rub your hands together vigorously, and now close your eyes. You'll notice that as you rub your hands together vigorously, your breath starts to deepen. So pay attention to the breath. Watch the breath come in through your nose and out through your nose. This action, whether you have the oils in your hands or not, this action of rubbing your hands together signalizes for your brain and your body to connect. There's something about the hands that connect the mind and the body. So rub a little bit harder for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you have oils in your hands, gently cup your hands in front of your nose. And if you don't, gently rest your hands on your heart. Relax your shoulders. Go taller through the top of your head. Allow your sitting bones to spread wide. And find your breath. We're going to take 10 slow, deep breaths. Breathing in for a count of 4. And breathing out for a count of 5. Let's begin. Breathing in through your nose, 2, 3, 4, holding the breath for a second, and exhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, breathing in through your nose, 2, 3, 4, holding the breath, relax, And then exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Keep it going. Breathing in through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath. Pausing. And then exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to exhale for a count of 6. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath in. And then slowing the breath out as you exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're doing great. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4. Pausing. And exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 2 more like this. Breathing in deeply, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath, just feeling that pause between 2 breaths. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And last one, breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Holding the breath, just feeling that emptiness. And then exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in through your nose. As you exhale, drop chin to chest, head to heart. On the inhale, let your head rise and you can open your eyes. Namaste. Officially, we're beginning. How do you feel? How do you feel? You can type it in the chat on the right-hand part of your screen. Just from those 10 focused, deep breaths. I find it super helpful when my mind is very busy to count my breath. It helps to just keep my mind focused. All right, so how did I get here? How did I get here? I took some notes. So I became a yoga teacher after having a career in the corporate world for most of my young adult life in 1995. And in those days, I was taught in my teacher training that we should leave meditation and pranayama, which is deep yogic breathing, to the more advanced students. And now when we taught yoga, we taught the postures first. And I wish that I had had a little bit of a different training, because for me, the 2 most important components for yoga, or that sense of union in your life. So yoga means to unite or to yoke the body, mind, and soul. The 2 most important components for that union is not really what you do with the physical body, but it's what you do with your breath and what you do with your mind, which is where meditation focuses. So became a yoga teacher in 1995, moved back to Jamaica, started an aromatherapy business, quickly got married shortly after that, had a child, went through a very painful divorce, got remarried, had 2 other kids, last one at 43, which was a thing in itself. Started my yoga center, gave up my aromatherapy business, started my yoga center, did that for 14 amazing years, even though it was always a financial struggle. Teaching yoga at that time in Jamaica was something so brand new. Some of you were there. Some of you were part of that beautiful place called Shakti. Yes. Good. I love that. Some of your responses coming up. Keep them going and we'll come back to it. And then my husband took a job in Montego Bay and I stayed in Kingston for 3 years. I looked after a newborn baby, a young son, my eldest daughter, 3 different things going on in my life, plus a full-time business. And anybody who knows a fitness center or a yoga center, you know it's a 24-hour-a-day job. It's a 7-day-a-week job. And doing all of that without the support of your husband was really, really, really challenging. And then one day I was like, this is enough. My marriage was falling apart. I was falling apart. I decided to join my husband in Montego Bay, thinking I could just go back and forth and do my yoga studio. That did not work out. I eventually decided to give up my yoga studio and just find a way to heal myself. At this point in time, I was struggling with a terrible indigestion problem that no doctors could figure out. I was very depressed, closing my yoga studio, very depressed. It felt like the worst decision I'd ever made. It was like giving up your child for adoption, your 14-year-old child for adoption. And I hated the way I looked in the mirror. I just didn't love myself anymore. I just was so stressed, so anxious, and didn't know who I was or what I was going to do. And I put myself on a detox program. And that is when I just kind of figured out that getting back to my yoga practice, starting a little meditation practice, dabbling in meditation at that point, eliminating all the bad boys that I found myself relying on, 3 cups or 4 cups or 5 cups of coffee a day to stay awake because I was so exhausted, 2 glasses of wine at night to get to sleep, craving sugar, not understanding why I was getting this horrible indigestion problem. Anyway, a long story short, I healed myself through a detox program that I put myself on, started offering it to other people, and 7 years later, I'm here today. This is what I do. This is how I show up in the world. I help people transform their lives through yoga, meditation, healthy eating, and self-care. So as you see, my life may look really pretty on the outside, but it has never, ever been easy. And I want you to understand that the Buddha said something, and I used to really hate this saying. The Buddha said something. He said, everyone is suffering. And I pondered that for many years of my younger life until it's now at this ripe old age of 54 that I have come to realize that every single person on life, no matter what you see on the outside, is suffering or being struggling or being challenged with something. Therefore, we all need the same thing to help us get over that struggle. And that's why I have this beautiful, huge Buddha in my garden that I look at in the morning in my meditation to remind me that we're all struggling and that the path to end the struggle, we'll never stop struggling as human beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, learning with each time we go around how to eliminate the struggle to become those human beings that are no longer in the struggle and in the flow. And that is where I wanted to go. I always felt as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as a late blooming mom, as going through a painful divorce, of moving to a new city, letting go my baby. And then when I moved to this new city, having to move 3 times, I've just felt for the last 10 years that every single thing has been a struggle. Because if I'm not initiating it as an entrepreneur, making it happen, it doesn't happen. And so I was constantly on the go trying to make things happen. And it wasn't until I found myself at the breaking point about 2 years ago when I was but beginning to really experience the symptoms of menopause. It wasn't until I found myself in my first ever full-blown panic attack. It wasn't until I found myself in chronic fatigue because my night sweats were keeping me up at night and I wasn't sleeping. It wasn't until I found myself in a constant state of overwhelm, crying all the time, just not knowing where to start. Who do I start with today? Which kid do I start with dealing with today? Which one is having a problem? You know, as they say, you're only as happy as your happiest child. So and if you have children, you know, there's always one that needs a little more attention in that moment. I didn't know what part of my business to start. I had, at this point now, had live yoga retreats. I had detox programs. I was created a whole food line. I was in the middle of trying to put together this cookbook. And then I had this idea also to do this online program, and I was just overwhelmed. And then this quote fell out of space onto my lap out of nowhere. I think I saw it on Instagram or something, and I'll read it to you. I had put it in the email. And it said, you should sit in meditation 20 minutes a day. Unless you're too busy, then you should sit for an hour. This was from a famous Zen Buddhist. And it was right around that time when I got an email from Deepak Chopra and Oprah about their 21-day meditation experience or 21-day meditation challenge. And I'm like, you know something? Nothing changes unless something changes. Yes, I do yoga. Yes, I had a healthy lifestyle. Yes, I knew all the things. In fact, that's what I was sharing and teaching all over the globe to other people. But something was not working for me. Behind the scenes, I was in a constant state of stress and overwhelm. And so 2 years ago, I decided to do this 21-day meditation experience. But now, I had known about meditation, obviously. I mean, I've been a yoga teacher now for so long. Of course, I practiced meditation, but never religiously, never fully committed. Yes, at the end of a yoga class that I was teaching. So I was doing it for other people. Yes, on a retreat, we would, really dive deep into meditation. But was I waking up every single day and just sitting with myself? No, I wasn't doing that. I'll be honest. All right. I thought to myself, who the hell has time to do something like that? Like, that is for people who have nothing else to do to sit and meditate. Boy, was I ever wrong. And when I committed 2 years ago to that 21-day challenge, I really committed because I was found myself going back into that state that I was before I started my detox program 7 years ago. I found myself tipping myself over into that edge of overwhelm, and with the added stress of menopause, almost felt like I was having a nervous breakdown. And that's the God's truth. And so I committed to this challenge, and the first 2 weeks of it were torture. I am just not the kind of person that likes to sit still. I would always say, I am meditating anyway. When I practice yoga, isn't that meditation in motion? Yes, it is, but it's not sitting meditation. When I'm running and breathing, isn't that meditation motion? Yes, it is, but it's not the same as sitting and practicing. And so, to sit my butt down for 20 minutes each day and really go through this challenge was torture for the first 2 weeks. Then after about 2 weeks, 14 days, 15 days, something clicked. And I found myself ready in the morning, waking up kind of a little bit excited, a little bit something shift, like there was an aha moment for me. And I just felt some little shift. And so day 15, 16 was a little bit easier for me to get up and do my practice. And then by the end of the 21 days, they ask if you want to buy the program. I bought the program immediately and redid it for another 21 days. And 2 years later, I can tell you that I've been meditating, whether on my own, just using my own mantra, or picking up some of these Deepak Chopra and Oprah meditations that I have bought that are on an app right here on my phone. So there are many, many, many meditation apps out there. I'm sure you've heard of them. This is the one that just works for me. So it's a Oprah and Deepak Chopra, and I have a library of 21-day meditations that I simply can just pick one and start my day. Or I'm now trained myself that I don't need to listen to anybody else. I can just sit and listen to my breath and use my own mantra to get me into a state of deep meditation. So that has kind of been my journey and my struggle. Even though everybody would think, being a yoga teacher, on the outside, look like, oh yeah, she could just sit there and be so Zen. I'm not a Zen person. I'm not Zen. That's why I'm attracted to yoga and I'm attracted to these esoteric practices, because I know in my heart that they are the path to getting me there. I hope everything is being clear. Yes, so just Caroline, that's where I'm at right now. You feel so overwhelmed, like you can go no more. Caroline, I'm going to stop and just answer some things here. That's where I was exactly. So I'm so happy that you're here today. And Dawn, welcome from Florida, finally on Om. And Sean says she's not getting it. Sean, what do you mean you're not getting it? So you're not getting the video, or what are you not getting? Dawn says the Chopra Oprah meditations are wonderful. Martha, joining us from Ochi. Welcome, my darling. And then there is another question here. Thank you for continuing to grow and learn and share. Love from Kingston, Sharon. Thank you, Camila, so much. So I'm going to continue. So having now had a practice, and that's why we call yoga a practice and meditation a practice. You cannot have a judgment about yoga or meditation unless you've actually had your own experience. So if somebody says to you, I tried meditation and it just didn't work for me, I can't get my brain to be quiet, don't listen to what anybody else's opinion is. If somebody tells you, I tried yoga and I can't do that, it's too slow for me or whatever, and so puts you off of trying it, you cannot ever explain the feeling that you get from a yoga practice, a good yoga practice, of course, or a meditation practice, unless you've experienced it yourself. And you can also not get the benefits from yoga or meditation unless you continue to practice. Yoga and meditation are those two esoteric healing modalities that have a compounding effect on you, meaning the more that you do it, the more that you practice, the easier it becomes, the more benefits you receive, right? So after 2 years of waking up daily, as I said, give or take a few days, practicing, these are some of the benefits that I received. These are my top, I wrote them down this morning. These are my top 6. First of all, I am less stressed than I've ever been in my life. I am less stressed than I've ever been in my life. My anxiety attacks that I was getting more frequently than I liked during menopause, going through that phase, I'm out of it now, thank God, are completely gone. But it was kind of if menopause kicked off something in my body or my mind that was causing me to feel these waves of panic for no reason. And thankfully, that is all gone, because that was something that was so foreign to me. I've had depression before, but never anxiety, never my heart racing, never like this feeling like, oh my God, something bad is going to happen if I don't do this or don't do that. That is completely gone. And what a gift it is not to be on that road anymore. That was a road I never want to be on again. So feeling less stress. And on top of that, not only feeling that the struggle to get things done or to do what I do in the world, which is a lot. Those of you that have been following me for a while know that I do a lot in this world. I give a lot. That's what I love to do more than anything. In fact, my best friend says my name is Sharon because I like to share. And yes, I do. And it takes a lot of work and effort. But I just truly believe that that's why I'm put on this earth, is to share with you. And sometimes it was getting ahead of me. Like I was sharing with everybody else, but not taking care of me. So with the less stress and less anxiety, especially in the last 6 months, I just feel like my life is in this incredible state of flow. So without having to struggle, things that need to happen are just happening in the most magical and elegant and easeful ways. And I really think when I thought about doing this webinar, I'm like, because it occurred to me, why am I so much more different now than I was 6 months ago? I haven't changed my diet. I have not changed my nutrition. I have not changed my yoga practices. I have not changed my fitness. I haven't changed the relationship or moved anywhere. I am changed because I'm a meditator, and I know that this is a reason. The second biggest thing is I've learned to trust my gut, to be able to get so quiet that I'm listening instead of analyzing. I'm listening for my gut. So they say that you have a second brain in your gut. Your gut is actually even a deeper place of truth than your heart. It's the next level. I am learning, and I've learned over this, particularly in the last year to 6 months, to start to trust my gut and to let go, even though on the outside it looks super pretty, to let go what's no longer serving me. And let me give you a very concrete example of this. So many of you know I had a high vitality food business on top of everything else. So people kept asking for, how can I just buy the food that you make instead of me having to prepare it? And so I started a food business where I had my own, groovy granola from the recipe books, my hemp protein bars, my Live Fit Detox bars, 4 of my soups, my jerk almond pate and my hummus and all of that. And I was selling that to people. And then I got called to sell it into one of the major supermarkets in Kingston. For those of you that are in Jamaica, you know about Lo Shushan supermarket. And I was like elated that my food would now be available to so many more people, this healthy, high vitality food that could change lives. If you ever saw what my home and my kitchen looked like, trying to prepare and fill orders for a supermarket versus a handful of people that I was doing direct delivery for, the sales looked amazing, but my heart and my anxiety and my overwhelm and my busyness just went through the roof, trying to procure all this food, trying to make it, trying to get it to Kingston on time, trying to collect paychecks from people and make sure the products was displayed properly. I went from like 0 to 60. And even though on the books it looks so good, the cost to my sanity and my health was way too high. And I woke up one day at the end of December and I said, that's it. Even though this is a great idea and one day I want to be able to do it, it is just not serving me right now. And I had to say to these amazing supermarkets and accounts, I'm sorry, I can no longer do this for you. I'll be in touch when I can. And I put all that food business into a box and I have let it go for now. And I cannot tell you that decision to let something go that would have been a great business opportunity. And I have 3 children to put through college. And I am not, I'm not supported by my husband at all. Of course, spiritually, emotionally, in every such way, but we are a 2-party income home. And I gave that up because it was too much on me and I could not handle it and be the person that I wanted to be. I hope that makes sense. So I learned how to let go of something that was no longer serving me. The incredible third benefit has been this massive increase in my productivity. So for those of you who are feeling a sense of overwhelm, I hear you. Waking up each morning to decide which kid is the most important to attend to today. Which of the projects, writing a cookbook, creating this online course, the food business, which of those products, which of those entities within my business were the most important for me to attune to that day. And when you're a mom, and you're working from home, your day kind of ends when you pick the kids up from school. Everything is all over after that. So I had to shove everything into this small amount of time. I was so overwhelmed. And because staying in that state of overwhelmed, I just got less productive. I couldn't get things done or finished. Now I've committed myself to stop looking at myself as this amazing multitasker, but to focus on single tasking, focusing on one thing at a time and doing it very well so that I can cross it off my list and it's done for the day. And if I can only get one thing done for the day, it's the one thing that I can do very well. And so my productivity has gone through the roof. I am able to do so much more in such less time because of sitting for 20 minutes every day, dropping out of the madness of my mind, the craziness of my busy life, into my heart or into my gut, to just be fully present with what is, gives your brain this ability to just put things in order for you. So less stressed, learn to let go, increase my productivity. One of the beautiful benefits is I'm finally sleeping. So again, along with the menopause came the night sweats, came the waking up every night, came because I was stressed, waking up at night, then my mind would be racing, couldn't get back to sleep. So then the vicious cycle of being exhausted all day, getting back to drinking loads of coffee. I mean, now I'm sleeping like a baby, right? I'm sleeping like a baby, waking up before any alarm clock, right? Refreshed and ready to go because my mind is clear when I go to sleep. In fact, I've been doing short meditations before bed, and I want to start even doing longer meditations before sleeping because there is nothing more healing than the power of sleep. So the number one healing technique that you can have for your body is deep sleep, right? The number one. And the number two is meditation. That is scientifically proven. So along with sleeping better, I wake up refreshed, more full of energy. And the fifth thing that I am so happy about is I literally thought I was losing my mind. So when I'm in a state of overwhelm, my memory goes. It's like literally I walk into a room and I can't remember why I'm in that room. Has that ever happened to anybody there? Please give me some feedback. Let me know. And I would walk into a room and say, why am I here? Or I would forget mid-sentence what I was saying. It was literally that bad. And I'm being so deeply honest with you today, right? That me, the Zen yogi that you think, Sharon Fiani, could be going through all of that because I am simply just like you, a busy woman trying to have this human experience and trying to be the best person that I can be. But my brain was always in this foggy state, and I have found this incredible regeneration of my brain cells is what it feels like. So that not only is my focus sharpened, but my memory is exponentially better. In fact, when you get the meditation replay today, at the end of today, so you can watch this over and over, and those of you that just joining us, I'm including a brand new scientific study that has shown that meditation can actually change a 50-year-old brain, the actual brain matter of a 50-year-old brain, to look like a 25-year-old brain. It can't change the 50-year-old body to look like a 25-year-old body. That's a whole nother webinar that we'll do, because yoga can't do that. But meditation has that ability to help you change your brain, your memory, your focus, your concentration. So that has been an incredible plus for me, because I literally thought I was losing my mind. I was getting Alzheimer's. Like, I was just constantly forgetting things, not knowing where I put my keys, my glasses. Now that still happens. All right, I won't lie to you. My kids will attest to that. But it is definitely so much better than it was. And then most of all, I think the biggest, most beautiful benefit of this all is that I feel so present with the people that I love. Like right now, talking to you, even though we're not in the same room, I feel so unbelievably present with each and every one of you that are listening to this webinar now. I feel so connected with you because I am so present with myself and what I'm doing and sharing. And I find that it is transforming my relationship with my husband. I'm able to accept things a little bit more, not react so quickly to things that bug me. And each one of you that is married or in relationship, you know that nothing is ever perfect, that you bug your husband and your husband bugs you. But my less reactive state has caused our relationship to feel even more beautiful and more authentic. Sex is better too. You can write that one down. Sex is definitely better and more often. Excuse me, give me 1 minute. Thank you. That was my kids. Oh my God. I hope they did not hear that. They're on Easter holidays. Okay, be careful. And by reducing my reactivity, not just to my husband, but also to my kids when they are annoying and driving me nuts, as kids will do, I'm less reactive. I'm less aggressive. I am find that my parenting skills are so much better because I'm more mindful of what I say, how I react, what I do. And I just got back from the most amazing 4-day Easter holiday with my husband and my kids. And I just felt for the first time, like the difference between this holiday and a holiday that we took together in last summer, when my brain was just really activated and going through writing the cookbook and creating this program. And I was so overwhelmed. Even though I had my meditation practice, it was like it hadn't clicked into that state of flow yet. And I knew this. I was so not present with my kids on that vacation that we took together in Vancouver, for those of you joining us from Vancouver, that this vacation, I felt such a shift in how we were all working together as a family. Even if it meant that on vacation, I woke up every day at 5 a.m., got my headphones on, went out to the beach and did my meditation, because I knew that when I did my meditation, I would have a better vacation. I like that. Do your meditation, life becomes a vacation. So that, on top of all the amazing things that you read about, meditation lowers blood pressure, it lowers your cholesterol, it can help with migraines, it can help with pain management. Most of all, what meditation has done for me is just made me, I think, an overall better person. I'm a happier person. I'm a mentally and physically healthier person than I was 6-8 months ago. And it did not happen overnight. But when that thing just kicked in, it's like when those of you are practicing yoga, you may practice for 2 years and then all of a sudden something just clicks, you know? Or you may be a runner and it's such a struggle and then it clicks. I remember that first time I ever ran beyond 20 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I could run beyond 20 minutes. Now it's like I'm not even meditating for 20 minutes. I want to meditate for 30 minutes, and my meditation practice is going for longer and longer, because the more I do it, the more benefits I receive. So I'm going to take a little pause, read some of your comments, and then just talk quickly about the myths, 5 myths of meditation, and then we'll meditate. All right, so let's see here. There's okay, not getting it. Joining you from Ochi. Keisha, hi, it's my first time. Welcome, Keisha. Janice, there's a technical problem. I hope it was not on my end, Janice, and that we're still good. Should be good. Yoga, Dawn says, yoga and meditation truly have been the answer for me. So much stress and like sharing a lot less panic attacks. I'm thankful. Yay. So thankful for that. And Dawn Burrows, welcome from Barbados. And Donna Parks, thank God it's not me. Menopausal symptoms are real. Donna, that's another webinar, okay? I have lots of videos on it. Look on my Facebook page. I am not shy to share what I've been through. Menopause was a huge smackdown for me. Bernice, no connection. Suzanne says all the time. Michelle says all the time. I think you're referring to things that we're talking about. Dawn, short memory loss happens when I feel overwhelmed. Absolutely, because there's so much in your mind to juggle. Your mind can't process it all. Caroline, yes, every day at work I forget everything. When I start crying at work, not good. Caroline, I've been there, darling. I've been there. We're going to help you. Sean, totally missing this video. I don't know why, Shawnee. Hope you can get connection. Yes, you'll get the replay. And yes, life happens. And then there's one more question here. Where can I find your book in Jamaica? Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette. My books are available, so you can email me. I can send you a signed copy. And I can send them to you anywhere in Jamaica via Tara. So you can just email me at sharon@sharonfiani.com. Or they are sold at all Fontana pharmacies, Blow by Blow in Kingston, Carry Man Woman Home in Kingston, Craft Cottage in Kingston, My Jamaica in Kingston, and the Butcher's Block in Kingston, and in Montego Bay at Round Hill and Trial. All right, so hold on a second, I'm gonna hydrate. All right, quickly, because I don't want this thing to go too long, because I know you're all busy. 5 myths of meditation. Meditation is about quieting your mind. That is the biggest #1 myth about meditation. You will never, ever quiet your mind, okay? The mind cannot be quieted, right? You can get less and less thoughts for sure. Let me show you something. My family and I recently became, hold on, I'm getting a pen. My family and I recently became scuba divers. And I honestly think that scuba diving is the closest thing I've ever experienced as to meditation. So we were in Turks and Caicos, and we were scuba diving this last weekend. So beautiful. And the second day, the sea was like this, going out. The boat is going out, and it was going, right? Can you see this? That was the ocean, and there was our boat going up and down. You're like, oh my God, right? Then we got all suited up in our wetsuits, and we jumped into the sea, right? And there we are bobbing up and down in this rough water, thinking, oh my God, this is like crazy. And I have my 11-year-old, scuba diving with me for her 3rd time. And then you have to start to find your breath and make sure your regulator is working and you're breathing and everything is going good, and you descend about 15 feet and you stop. Right, you have to stop and you have to make sure that your surroundings are good. You check your equipment again, everything is good. And you start to hear yourself breathe. All of a sudden you start to hear yourself breathe, and then you let the regulator out and you go down deeper. And all of a sudden, the deeper that you go, the waves and the roughness and the blurriness of the sea that's still stirred up starts to become more clear, and you keep going down and down and down. And then all of a sudden at the bottom is this whole new world, this whole new universe that you didn't even know existed. And all of a sudden you're looking at these beautiful, fans of coral and these fish you've never seen. And yes, I saw a shark and a turtle and a dolphin on all these days of my scuba here in Turks and Caicos. But you're just observing. You're like this passive observer, walk, on the bottom of this still ocean, even though the top, this is your mind up here, busy, crazy waves rising, falling. And then you start coming down to this beautiful place of absolute stillness. And there is so much peace there. And that is why when my kids come up, my kids don't understand the concept of meditation, but they come up from that experience. And it's like they're completely different. They are transformed. They are calm and relaxed and such gratitude and joy. And so scuba diving is like that. Your mind is like that. It takes a while. You don't just sit and have empty thoughts. You will never quiet your mind. But what you begin to do, instead of getting involved in your thoughts, is become the witness of your thoughts. You start to become the observer of your thoughts. The other thing is you don't have to be a yogi and sit in a cross-legged pose or chant Om to be a meditator, okay? If that does not appeal to you, first of all, if your body can't sit cross-legged, I'm going to uncross my legs because fortunately I've been practicing yoga long enough that I can sit cross-legged for an hour. But if you can't, as long as your spine is straight, that is super important. You cannot meditate like this. I mean, if this is the only way you can meditate in your wheelchair, so be it. But ideally, you need to have a straight line. You need to have your energy system flowing. So you don't have to be a yogi sitting in a lotus pose. You don't have to chant Om. There are many various techniques for meditation. You do not have to have a quiet space or be on the top of a mountain to do it. I encourage you to do meditation standing in line at the bank, in the craziness of your own home. You've got to learn how to drop into that state on a dime. And you don't have to be good at it to get your benefits. There's no such thing as being a yogi. It takes 40,000 lifetimes, they say, to become a yogi, right? You cannot become a good meditator or a bad meditator. There's no such thing. You just are. You just meet your body where it's at, and you just accept it and do the best that you can. So I'm going to check in one more time on our notes, and then I'm going to take you on a brief meditation, and we're going to end this beautiful journey together. And then you can watch this replay as often as possible. Okay, somebody says, thank you, Sharon. You're so generous. So happy I've tuned in. Thank you, Linda. Bless your heart. Camila, I have 3 children too, and I'm an entrepreneur, and it's been a learning process making time to use yoga and meditation. I almost have to make an appointment to ensure it's done. Oh my God, what a great point, Camila. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm old-fashioned, okay? Everything here is in my book. You look at the top. It's 6 a.m. This is when I do my meditation. You'll see where I have scheduled my yoga. All right? If it's not scheduled, it ain't going to happen, and nobody's going to schedule your yoga and meditation except you. Janet says, thank you. Bernie's back again. Yay. Janelle, I'm 27 in a month, and I'm experiencing all of the symptoms. I forget names, numbers, and other details. I'm super distracted, especially at work. I'm always tired, feeling anxious. There's also a constant whirlwind of details being processed in my brain at every given time. I have insomnia because of my overactive mind and anxiety. I also think I'm depressed. Unexplained sadness for almost 3 years now. Janelle, you're not the only one. Thank you so much for sharing that and for being so open. And I just want you to know that my Shakti Activation 7-day program has been made exactly for somebody like you in mind. It's $97 and it's 7 days of yoga and meditation and healthy eating. So everything that you're experiencing also, I think, has to do with your nutrition, right? Because that has a huge, huge effect on your brain and what you're feeding your body, but also getting the meditation to help you to reduce that anxiety. Please, Jonelle, if you're able to sign up for Shakti Activation, it would be the best thing that you have ever done for yourself. A little bit more on this. Hi, Jonelle, meditation would definitely help. Dawn is telling me, for me, I started with yoga as it helps to focus on your breath. Yes. Suzanne, quick question. Does this work for boys? Absolutely. Now, I have not gotten my son to get there yet, but if you can teach your children meditation, it is the best gift you've ever given them. And that is going to be my summer project for my children. So without further ado, let's do a 5-minute meditation. So find your most comfortable seat right now with your spine tall, right? Adjust your sitting bones so that they're rooted in your chair or in your bed or on the floor or wherever you are watching this. Drop your shoulders away from the ears, relax. Feel yourself growing tall through the top of your head, almost as if there is a golden thread of light lifting you up from the crown of your head. And then if you have essential oils, put some in the palm of your hands. And if you don't worry about it. I really, really love oils. They really help me to come out of my mind. It's just a sensory experience that says to me, you're going to make a shift. So these oils are everywhere in my house. Whether you have oils or not, rub your hands together and close your eyes. Rubbing your hands together signals your mind and body to connect. Rub a little bit harder for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you do have the oils in your hands, you can cup your hands in front of your nose and breathe deeply, or you can bring your hands at your heart. But I'd like to start with 5 slow, deep breaths, just like we did in the beginning. Breathing in through your nose, counting to 4 as you inhale, breathing out through your nose as you count to 6 as you exhale. Your own breath, counting in your own mind. 5 slow, deep breaths. Two more breaths like this, breathing in through your nose, holding the breath for a moment, exhaling through your nose. And then with your eyes closed, we're going to go on a 3-step journey to your heart. So sitting up nice and tall, staying with your breathing, staying focused on your yoga breath. I'd like you to open your ears and just listen for the sounds around you. I can hear in my own home the opening of doors, my kids talking downstairs. Attune to the sounds around you, wherever you are. And then open your inner ear and hear more distant sounds, perhaps cars passing, doors slamming. Without judging or labeling, just listen to sound. I'll take a deep breath in and exhale and empty. Sorry, my printer is miraculously going off right now. I don't know why, but maybe it's because we're supposed to hear the sound. I'm very sorry about this, but listen to the sound of my printer. Okay, that was a sign from God. He's testing us. So take a deep breath in and exhale it out. And moving from sound, let's move a little bit closer to the heart. Let us become aware of the surface of our body, our skin. With your eyes closed and still breathing, feel the skin on your left cheek. Notice the skin on your upper right arm. Feel the sensation of skin at the back of your neck. Feel the skin on the top of your left foot. Just take a moment to observe and feel the largest organ of your body. Notice the sensation of skin. And then take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And moving from sound to skin, let's take another step deeper. And imagine yourself sitting on a rock next to the shore, and you're just watching the waves coming in and out, moving in and out of the shoreline. You're sitting on a rock, observing the waves moving in and out. These waves are your thoughts. So as you see yourself sitting on the rock, take a moment to observe the thoughts that are fluttering in and out of your mind. Try not to get intertwined with any one thought, but simply be a witness. Sometimes here a smile comes on my face because the thoughts that come into your head when you're paying attention can be so random and so bizarre that you find it very interesting. So just take a moment to be a curious observer of your thoughts as they come and go, like the waves rising and falling at the shoreline. And then take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And moving from sound to skin to observing your thoughts. See if you can drop into the throne room of your heart and find that part of you that is the observer. Who is it inside that is observing your thoughts? Who is it inside of you that is feeling the sensations on your skin? Who is it inside of you that is listening to sound? Find the witness. Find that passive observer of your thoughts. Find the very deepest part of you, your soul. I like to see myself as sitting in the throne room of my heart, gently watching the thoughts come and go with no judgment, with no labeling, simply being, resting in a state of conscious awareness. You find that place. Take 10 slow, deep breaths, counting your breath, observing your thoughts, giving yourself permission be here now, to be with your breath. Be the witness, to be the observer, to simply be. 5 more breaths together in silence. Deep breath in. As you exhale, drop chin to chest, head to heart. On the inhale, let your head rise and the hands come together in prayer. Coming to end this webinar together, coming to end this journey together, to end this meditation practice together. Namaste. Namaste means the light in me bows to the light in you, and that it is my responsibility to keep my light shining bright so that I can remind you to keep your light shining too. So thank you to everyone who took time out of their busy day to join me for the Busy Woman's Guide to Meditation. We all need this. Please share this webinar with your friends when you get this replay. And I highly, highly, highly encourage each and every one of you to consider signing up for my Shakti Activation 7-day yoga meditation detox and self-care program, which runs June 3rd to June 9th. For only $97, you will receive tools that will last you a lifetime. And if you've been struggling with healthy eating, if you've been struggling with yoga, if you've been struggling with a positive mindset, if you've been struggling in just finding a state of health and happiness for you, there cannot be anything, any better gift that you can give yourself before summer starts, before we kind of lose our focus again for a while. To give yourself this gift of Shakti Activation. There's a link right here on the webinar to sign up for the wait list. And the card opens to purchase on the 6th of May, which makes it a very, very amazing Mother's Day gift. As I said, it's $97. You don't have to take time off work. In fact, I want you to learn these meditation and yoga practices from home so that they serve you in your real life, so that you don't have to be on a yoga retreat or on the top of a mountain to do them. You're in your life. I want to teach you how to create these foods, healthy, high vitality, nourishing foods for yourself and for your family, yourself. I teach you how to meal prep so there's less stress around food and taking care of yourself. And then also to practice radical self-care. Nobody's going to take care of you guys. You have to learn, especially as women, as givers, to take care of you first, to fill up your cup first so that you can do what you really want to do, which is to give and to love. So when you get this replay, you're also going to get the same exact video or the same meditation in a video that is a day 1 video of Shakti Activation, and you own that and you can play that over and over again. And I want to invite everyone on this webinar to practice just that one meditation, which is the same 3-part meditation that I gave you every day for the next 7 days and just see how you feel and give me some feedback. So be sure to look at the replay because it will give you all these bonus tips, plus a link to these studies, meditation studies I'm sharing with you. Plus, I will share the link to the Deepak Chopra and Oprah meditations they run them free and you can sign up for the next free one. I'm not sure where it is. So Elizabeth, Martha says, thank you for sharing some of your wisdom on your life. By showing your vulnerability, you show how strong and brave you are. Thank you, Martha. Thank you. And Elizabeth, thank you. I agree with Sharon, just did the Shakti activation. Yes, Elizabeth just did the one in April and I feel great. I'm now back on my daily yoga, which I neglected for a long time. Thank you, Caroline. Love to you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ava, Mark Goodman, Andreen. Lovely to have you, Suzanne. Thank you. The boys tried too. Awesome. Get the boys to meditate. Get the girls to meditate. Dawn, thank you so much. Christine, thank you. Carol, so good to have you. Great program. Donna Parks, thank you for sharing. Michelle, highly recommending Shakti activation. Another person. Experienced the first week this month and have continued most aspects. Been falling for 2.5 weeks. Go, Michelle. That's awesome. Richard Russell, Sharon. Love you before. Love you madly now. Congrats on being a very special person. Thank you, my Rusty Richard. I love you. Camilla, blessings. Michelle, thank you again. So thank you to everybody. Love. Peace out. Hope to see you on Shakti Activation. Thank you for being here today. Namaste.